Today I'm going to review 5 vegan seafood items. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eunice, and if you're new to this channel, typically I do restaurant reviews of different places that I travel to, occasional recipes, but today we're doing a vegan seafood review. Why? Because the documentary Seaspiracy recently came out, and if you haven't seen it, it's amazing, very informative, you have to watch it. It basically talks about how the seafood industry is what's really damaging our oceans and not excess plastic like we tend to think. So, I figure a lot of people are searching for vegan seafood right now, and I've been wanting to try a lot of these brands, so I figured I would try them and prepare them different ways so that way you guys can know what to expect when you go buy it. So let's get to round 1 of how I prepared these things. So first I'm going to try Zeastar's Zalmon because I can't help myself. This is meant to substitute salmon sashimi, so straight out of the package it looks almost identical to salmon. When you touch it, it feels pretty dense like raw salmon, and then when you slice it, it also looks super realistic. So I decided to put this over some sushi rice balls to make a quick nigiri to taste it plain. Then I decided to make a marinade of soy sauce, sesame oil, and brown sugar to see how it tastes with some flavor added. So I used this to make an onigirasu, which you place on a square shape of sushi rice on top of nori, and then add toppings. So I added the Zeastar, sliced cucumber, carrots, cilantro, some more rice. Just make sure yours is stickier than mine so it doesn't fall apart. Then you fold all the edges in like this and then cover it with cling wrap and let it chill in the fridge for a few minutes and then cut it in half when you're ready to eat. Not terrible for my first try, eh? Next, I decided to use the Good Catch tuna to make a deli-style tuna salad sandwich. It's supposed to replicate canned tuna, so when you take it out of the bag, it doesn't look aesthetically amazing, but I mean neither does regular canned tuna, but texture does look very similar, so it's just a bit more firm. So I added some chopped celery, scallions, vegan mayo, dill, lemon juice, and salt, and then just mix. Then I added to some toasted bread to make my deli-style sandwich. Okay, so I have the first spread here. Let's give these things a try. I'm starting with Zeastar because I mean, off the bat, it looks like real salmon. And in terms of the lines and everything they put in there, like you would fool anybody thinking that this was salmon. So I'm gonna try first one with just the sushi rice by itself without soy sauce to see what it kind of tastes like. So in terms of texture, when you're eating it, spot on. Very similar to salmon. Flavor-wise, I wouldn't say it tastes exactly like salmon. Like, there's not a lot of flavor to it by itself. So it's not bad. So I'm gonna try some with the soy sauce. Okay, yeah. It's surprising how just adding a little soy sauce and a little bit of sesame oil and seasoning, once you marinate the salmon, oh my gosh. It's like day and night. Typically when you go to places like poke places, sometimes they do marinate the sashimi for you. So that's nice that when you marinate it, you honestly can't really tell the difference. Like if you were to give it to someone who wasn't vegan and who ate salmon, like they would probably think it's real salmon. I like that it picks up the flavors really well, and like I said, the texture is there. So that's a good start because that already kind of tells your mind, oh my gosh, it's like I'm eating salmon. I also decided to prepare it onigiri sandwich style to put in the marinated sushi, and I put some sriracha mayo on top. First time making it, guys. It was, I could have done better, but you guys know that it's possible. Let me give this a try just to see what it tastes like when it's in a roll with like so many different flavors. Is there. And once you marinate it like you would any salmon, you'll get your fix for sure. So next I'm gonna try the deli style tuna. When I tried a bit on its own, it didn't have a ton of flavor either. But once you have it in the sandwich, it really does look like the deli style tuna that I remember. Cheers. Okay, not bad. Again, texture wise, it's good, it's there. Flavor wise, this could be personal preference. It's not bad, but to me it's nothing out of this world. Like, would I buy it again? Probably not. But if you are someone that likes those tuna sandwiches, this is a really good substitute. I think like once you season it well the way you want, it does a trick. It really does. So if you want that fix, like tuna salad type of thing, this would be a really good substitute. I could totally see that working. Now for round 2, I'm going to start with the shrimp scampi pasta. First I melted some vegan butter, grilled some onions for a few minutes, then garlic, then I added the Sophie's Kitchen shrimp to grill them and absorb the flavor. When you take them out of the packaging, it does look like battered shrimp, so that's cool. Then I added lemon juice and olive oil and salt and then the pasta, and then you got yourself a shrimp scampi. Next was the calamari and the fish fillets. So right out of the package, the calamari looks like calamari. It's made with konjac root to give it that calamari texture, so I just pan fried them for a bit. Then I added the fish fillets and grilled them to a golden crisp to make a burger. I got some buns, added vegan tartar sauce, tomato, lettuce, the crispy Gardein fish patties, and yum, now it's time to try all these. Okay, so now I'm at round 2, you guys. I cannot wait to try this shrimp scampi. This battered shrimp looks really good, and then the pasta, Okay, so this is what I'm gonna try first. Again, this is Sophie's Kitchen. They have a bunch of different seafood products as well, but the shrimp is what stood out to me, especially since I feel like that's a difficult one to replicate. That is really good. I love how easy it is just to make a shrimp scampi pasta. The texture of the shrimp is really good. It's like gelatinous. It's like has that bouncy texture. I'll be honest, I didn't really eat any shrimp before, so I can't tell you exactly how it is, but in terms of what I would imagine it to be, that's what I would imagine it to be, and I like the texture. So regardless of whether it's exactly like shrimp texture, the texture's nice. It's not averse. It's battered nicely. Oh my gosh, and then with the pasta, there's so many different ways you can eat this. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to making this more often. So a lot of this vegan shrimp tends to be made out of konjac root, which is almost like a yam. So use that root flour to make like that gelatinous texture. It's really cool. Okay, next, guys, I'm in Spain. Calamari is a thing here. And I have tried vegan calamari at quite a few places, so it's natural that here are a lot of vegan shops, they have the vegan calamari. The brand I got isn't sold in the US, but there is a similar one that you can buy. If you haven't been to GTFO It's Vegan, you can get a discount code in my comments below. And all this stuff you can purchase there too. So, vegan calamari, put some lemon on there, it's nice and crispy. If you feel like having a tapa style, pub food style, that's how they eat it in Spain. So I just wanted to try it for the heck of it. So I like it, I would eat this again. It's just one of those things that I just like eating, it's guilty pleasure. Side note, a lot of the stuff for me is novelty items. I wouldn't eat this on a regular basis. A lot of the main ingredients are maybe konjac root, tapioca starch, soy, which is not bad, but the nutritional value isn't super there either. I would suggest maybe adding it to a really green, yummy salad, or if you're gonna eat pasta, you know, one night, balance it up with a healthier meal the next night, you know, so just something to keep in mind. I do like this calamari though. If you've never tried vegan calamari, I suggest you give it a try. Okay, and last but not least, Gardeins fish fillets. Guilty confession, before I was vegan and before I gave up fast food, one of my guilty pleasures was the fish burger from Burger King. I don't even know what was in that. It's probably not even real fish. But anyways, let's try this again. Let's see if it's as good as I remember. The texture is just so good. It really has that fish fillet texture and the flavor. You really do feel like you're eating a fish fillet. I like this one. I approve. If you've gone vegan and you kind of miss that fish and chips vibe or fish burger, fish tacos, I strongly suggest you try this brand because it does it really well. All right, so overall, what are my thoughts? I think there are some really strong contenders. My personal favorites were Zeastar. I would buy that again, but I would buy it to season it. Like, I wouldn't eat it just plain. I think it really does need to be seasoned, but the texture, I really like it. And if I'm missing that sashimi type of texture, I think it's a good way to go. I also love Gardeins, as I mentioned. That's a good, like, when you feel like eating a fish burger or fish and chips, they did a really good job of making the texture replicate like that fish fillet. The shrimp scampi, I love that. And the shrimp, the battered shrimp from Sophie's Kitchen, I think is awesome. You should definitely try it. I think you could do so many things with it. The good thing is with all of these, the flavor is pretty neutral and you can just adjust the flavors however way you want it, whatever comfort food you're missing. If you add the same seasonings as you would with real fish to these vegan items, you could definitely achieve the same flavors. I think each one has done a good job at texture, and really it's like a canvas where you can season it any way you want. So I mean, I guess that's the point, right? The same with, I mean, meat sometimes is like that too. It's a canvas and you add the seasonings. So I could see the shrimp being used in like vegan po' boys or shrimp tacos. And so there's just so many different ways, you guys. If you are trying to reduce your meat consumption, fish consumption, and wanting to make one sustainable choice at a time, I highly recommend you try some of these vegan fish products, you know, to start making a change. Or maybe you're already vegan, you're like, oh, I miss that sashimi, and so now you have Zeastar. There's other alternatives you can use that are healthier that I've tried. Like for example, one of my favorites is smoked salmon out of carrot. Whew, that is one of my favorites. I would enjoy that better personally because the carrot has more nutritional value than, let's say, Zeastar that has like tapioca starch. And again, I mentioned these are novelty items. I wouldn't eat them every day, and it's more expensive too. So it's less expensive if you use natural whole foods and eat that. So just remember, eat more whole foods, not so much of these vegan novelty items. They're fun every once in a while when you want to fix the craving, but go whole foods also. Just remember that. Again, if you're wondering where you can purchase some of these items, I'm leaving a discount code for GTFO It's Vegan. Go to gtfoitsvegan.com. It's a vegan marketplace. They have so many vegan products, so you can buy all of this stuff on there. So if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe and share to anyone who is interested in vegan seafood or vegan products in general. Again, if you are interested in seeing vegan travel and restaurant reviews, you can check out more of my videos up here. So I hope you guys really like it. Bye!